Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai Bashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, Does anyone know where to get Ezekiel 1 breakdown? And this is from Rail 791. It's really self-explanatory. So, you know what I'm going to do? Let me go ahead and deal with it. And I'm going to try not to make this long. It's never really been broken down because it's like I said, it's self-explanatory. But there's people that don't know. They don't know. But so those are the UFOs. What Ezekiel saw were chariots come down, or so-called UFOs with angels in the chariots giving them instruction. It was no different than John the Apostle on the Isle of Patmos. Yahweh gave him instructions through an angel. But he first saw the Lord Yahweh. But when you read when he gets these revelations, it through an angel that gives him visions. Okay, so Ezekiel chapter 1. Okay, let's see how long it is. How this is. 28 verses. The vision of four figures. These four figures represent angels in what you would call chariots. Now it came to pass in the 13th year, in the 4th month, and the 5th day of the wait a minute. It said in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month. This is another precept that we can use for the Sabbath. The Sabbath is based upon the new moon. Because what happened about 4 months ago, they celebrated the Passover. So they didn't have two calendars back then. They had one calendar, and that was up when you looked up into the heavens. That was a divine calendar. In the 4th month, and the 5th day of the month, the 4th month, the 5th day of the month will be what? Okay, 5th day, Saturday, Friday, It wasn't Thursday. It was the 5th day of the moon cycle. In the 5th day of the month, say this again, there's no such thing as Israelites possessing two calendars. Okay, well, here's a calendar, Friday sundown and Saturday sundown, that's the Sabbath. Oh, well, this is the other calendar. Or look up into the no, that didn't happen. As I was among the captives by the river of Chebar, that the heavens were opened, and I saw visions of, I'll just say God, Allah. It might say Elohim. Let's look it up. And I'm gonna go into a little bit on Ezekiel. I may even go into the commentary just to see what they say. Okay. He said, and I saw visions of the word there, God, but in the Hebrew, the word is Elohim. So it should be, the word there should be gods, plural. So he saw angels. Let me do this. Get a little information on Ezekiel the prophet. General information. Ezekiel the prophet in the Bible. The prophet Ezekiel is the author of the book of Ezekiel, writing from a first-person perspective. Ezekiel recorded the visions and revelations he received from the Lord. Ezekiel was a priest, so he had to be a Levite, who was among the Israelites captive, carried away to Babylon by King Nebuchadnezzar in approximately 597 BC. So now it says Ezekiel 1 and 3. So now it says, third verse, the word of Yahweh came to me, came expressly unto me, unto Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans, which is Babylon, by the river Chebar, and the hand of Yahweh was there upon him. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north. These are UFOs, ships, so you can understand. A great cloud and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it. It was an actual ship. This is what they're seeing in New Jersey. Now they're saying that they're drones, but if they're drones from Iran, that they would do something about it. So they're saying, are they drones from China? Are they drones from Iran? Are they drones from some local person? And they said that some of these drones are as big as cars. There was one news report of this individual that had a drone, a commercial drone, and he with a camera on it, and he wanted to use a drone to get a picture or a video. And when it was fully charged, by the way, when it got close to one of the drones, the battery just died, and the drone just fell back to earth. So these politicians, these governors, these mayors or whatever, the mayors are crying out. The governor doesn't know what's going on. It's a federal matter now. It says, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber. Amber is like a yellow, like a yellowish golden color, if I'm not mistaken, out of the midst of fire. You know what? Let me do this. And you'll see in a minute. The color amber. Okay, yep, I was correct. Let's go to images. That's amber. Like a honey. Honey, like a color of honey. Some honey are darker than others. So that's the color of those ships. A golden yellow, yellowish. Midst thereof as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. It was enfolded in fire. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures. These 4 living creatures were angels that came down in an extraterrestrial form. And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and everyone had 4 faces. Everyone had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the soles of their feet were like the sole of a calf's foot, which is cloven-footed. So they were you can say that they were part animal, part man. It speaks about the creatures in Revelation, the 24 elders. And sometimes they appear in the form of animals. Sometimes they appear in the form of men, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. Burnished brass. Let's look that up. We strongly believe that these, okay, that's burnished brass. Look at that. You got polished brass, which kind of looks like this, then you got burnished brass. There, look at that, look at that. Brown. Okay, got that out the way. Give me a second. Okay, I'm way down here. Burnished brass. John on the Isle of Patmos referred to our Lord. He looked down at his feet, and he saw the feet were likened unto burnished brass or bronze. And they had the hands of a man under the wings on their four sides, and they four had their faces and their wings, and the wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went everyone straight forward. As for the likeness of their faces, they four had the faces of a man and the face of a lion on the right side, and they four had the faces of an ox. On the left side, they four also had the faces of eagles. Let me do this. Let me try this. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, what verse am I in? I'm in the 10th verse. Let's go to Revelation. Let me see. Let me go to the elders. Let me try it this way. Let me do it this way. Let me just put in elders. Okay, this is what I wanted. Revelation. Okay, and around about the throne with 24 seats, and upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold. The 10th verse, the 24 elders shall fall down before him that sat on the throne, which is the Heavenly Father. Yeah, your Heavenly Father, and on the right side of him you have Yahweh Shai. Let me try this. I believe the word is cherub. Cherub in the book of Revelation. Okay, angelic beings that appear in the book of Revelation. Revelation 4, verse 6 to 9. Revelation 5, verse 6 to 14. Revelation 6, verse 1 to 8. Revelation 14. Revelation 15. Okay, let me do this. I'm sorry. Eagle in the book of Revelation. That's not what I want either. Let me try it this way. I'm sorry, let me come back to 4. Bear me for a minute. Let me go to Revelation 4. It says almost the same thing in Ezekiel. Okay, here we go. This goes hand in hand with Ezekiel chapter 1. And before the thrones there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind. And the first beast was like a lion, and the second beast was like a calf, and the third beast had a face of a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle. So it says lion, calf, man, lion, calf, 2, man, and eagle. So now let's come back to Ezekiel 1. And 10. Ezekiel 1 verse 10. But let's go back over here. Okay, it says in the feet with straight feet, calf's foot. Okay, and they four had their faces and their wings. So back to the 10th verse. And for the likeness of their faces, they four had the face of a man and the face of a lion. We read that in Revelation 4. And on the right side, and the four had the face of an ox, or which represent cattle. I believe it said, did it say lamb in Revelation? We'll go back to that. On the left side, and four also had the face of an eagle. Said lion, man, ox, lion, man, ox, and eagle. Same thing in Revelation chapter 4. So these were angels that came to Ezekiel and angels that came to John the apostle. And they came in ships. When you read Revelation chapter 10, the angel that came down was an actual gigantic ship that came down and gave John the apostle the scriptures, a little book. The little book represents the scriptures. The Old New Testament, the Apocrypha. Thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched upward. Two wings of every one were joined to another, and two covered their bodies. And they went every one straight forward whither the Spirit was to go. The Spirit is there, the Spirit that's in them. They went and they turned not when they went. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire. And like the appearance of lambs, it went up and down upon the living creatures. And the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. So picture that in your mind. Got these angels with this fire around them and lightning coming out of them. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. What did they return to? Their ships. Now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his four faces. So this was a chariot, a UFO, so you can understand. The appearance of the wheels and their work was like, he's describing what these ships, he spoke about the angels coming out of the ships and going back into the ships unto the color of beryl, and I believe that's green, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. A wheel in the middle of a wheel. Come over here. Here we go.
Shalom.
Wheel in the middle of a wheel. That's a wheel within a wheel. I'm going to show it a couple of times. That's what Ezekiel the prophet saw. And what the government is doing, as a will,
either that's Blue Beam, Project
angels
Blue
of the Lord,
Beam,
angels
or
of Yahweh.
they don't know what it is.
Chapter 1,
Can't trust
a will
the mind
within a
control
will.
of the government.
Let me see. I'm sorry. As it were, a wheel within a wheel. It's not a super clear picture right there. And the elite among the Edomites, they know that they're the angels. The scriptures speak about them visiting the earth. Let's go to that. Matter of fact, yeah, let me do this. Let me do this. Let me go to note. Notebook. Where's a notepad, rather? Notepad. Let's open this up. So I put a couple of precepts together. You are being visited by the angels of Yahweh. So I'm going to read these off real quick. Jeremiah 49:8. Flee, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. So they're being visited. The eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, and he's going to destroy it from off the face of the earth. That's Amos 9, which I think I had that on the list. As a matter of fact, I do. Now that was referring to Israel, the Israelites. The Israelites was that wicked kingdom that the Most High was going to destroy from off the face of the earth. But now it applies to Esau. I was talking about Israel first. Read Deuteronomy 30, verse 7. These curses, these plagues that came on us is now going to come on the enemy. It says, 9th verse, if grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? And that was part of the law. You're supposed to take only 90% of the grapes or any crops, or like grapes, we'll use grapes, and you were supposed to leave 10% behind for the poor. If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough, but I have made Esau bare. In other words, the Most High is not going to have any mercy on Esau. Those grapes, well, it says in Revelation, well, Isaiah, Isaiah 63 and Revelation chapter 14, he says he's going to put them in the wine press. So he's looking at them as grapes. And when you stomp a grape, what comes out of the grape? Blood. They call it blood. There's a particular wine called sangria, which is Latin or Spanish for blood. It just means blood. So there's a certain wine called blood. What blood are you drinking? The blood of the grape, of the grapes. I have uncovered his secret places, his secrets. We know that there's a hidden agenda, a hidden government. We know most of the things that we see are nothing but what's the term? I can't think of the term. Psyops. Look that word up. Psyops. And he shall not be able to hide himself. You can't hide no more. People begin to, they go, hey, you got the Jake in the hip hop world. They're bringing it out. Everything is coming out now. His seed is spoiled. Esau's seed is spoiled, and his brother and his neighbor, and he is not, because he's going to be gone after a while. I'm not going to read anymore. But this is one of my, I don't read this enough, but this is a beautiful chapter right here. Okay, so let's go to the next precept. Hit these precepts and I'm out of here. Jeremiah 51 and 31, 50 and 31. This individual, I got to look him up. I did a video on him. He was a scientist, if I'm not mistaken. I forget his name. And there were certain people in his community that was saying that the Ezekiel chapter 1, those are angels in chariots. So him as a scientist, he did the research. He said, I'm going to prove to you that they're not. He did some researching, and he came to the conclusion that those are angels, and those are ships, chariots. So from him trying to disprove it, he became a believer. Now, I did that video maybe a couple of years back, and I mentioned the individual's name, and I gave the book there's a book on him. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Scientist writes a book on Ezekiel chapter 1, the will within the will. Let's see what comes up. Okay, scientist writes a book on Ezekiel 1. Scientist debunks Ezekiel UFO. Let me put in UFO. Okay, this is NASA. NASA's set up to deceive any damn way. I'm trying to find it. Let me try this. How would a biblical writer describe a UFO if he saw one? Okay, let me try this one. How would a biblical writer describe a UFO if he saw one? One of my most frequent points of irritation in the whole UFO, in the whole UFOs and religion area is the idea that there are UFOs, as in flying spaceships, in the Bible. This is basically an Old Testament Hebrew Bible issue. Anyway, let me do this. Scientists, let me do this. Scientists now say Ezekiel 1 within the will are UFOs. Let's see what comes up. a UFO in Ezekiel 1 by Mitchell Chase, Biblical Theory, saying in an interview that Ezekiel 1 contained a description of UFOs. So is it true? There's another guy, he wrote a book. Let me do this. Okay, this is the guy. I remember the name. Joseph Bloomrich, I believe he might be a small hat, the former chief of NASA's system. This is him. Layout at the Marshall Space Flight Center, wrote the spaceships of Ezekiel to disprove the idea that the prophet Ezekiel's vision of the Merkaba was a report of an extraterrestrial spacecraft. However, after a thorough examination, this man, it says the former chief of NASA. He wasn't no dummy. He went out to debunk it. He said, after a thorough examination, Bloomrich became convinced that Ezekiel had been a spaceship, read a little bit more, made detailed drawings of it. Bloomrich concluded that the builders of the spaceship had technology that was more advanced than what humans have today. There's one guy that had a congressional sit down, and he said what do you call it? He was an Air Force guy, high-ranking Air Force guy. He said he had experience with these UFOs, and he said they got to be 1,000 years more advanced than we are. So you can't mess with them. You know? It says in the book of Ezekiel, the prophet has a vision of a storm cloud because of the wind, the whirlwind, with 4 strange creatures connected by their wings. Each creature has 4 faces: a human, a lion, an ox, and an eagle. Each creature is also on the top of the wheels, which are the ships. So let me read this again, not the whole thing. Joseph, this is him, Joseph Bloomrich, the former chief of NASA. And NASA today is saying, no, one of the former chiefs said, he tried to debunk it. He said, nope, those are the angels. System layout at the Marshall Space Flight Center, wrote the spaceships of Ezekiel to disprove the idea that the prophet Ezekiel's vision of the Merkaba was a report of an extraterrestrial spacecraft. However, after a thorough examination, Bloomrich became convinced that Ezekiel had seen a spaceship. So he's saying what Ezekiel saw, in fact, was an actual spaceship, and that's he described a UFO. And what the beams that came out of it were, in fact, angels. Now, I got to see if I can get the book. Let me do this. If anybody can get the book, get the book. Don't wait for the movie. Okay, let's do this. Let's see what comes up. Okay, this is the book. Okay, he died in 2002. This is the actual book. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me go to images. This is the actual book that he wrote. He tried to disprove it, debunk it, and said, nope, Ezekiel saw UFOs. That's the book right there. If you can get the book, get the book. The spaceships of Ezekiel. That's the book. He'll look like a dummy. Okay? Ezekiel's spaceship. Let me do this. A history of Ezekiel's will within a will. Now, there were people 2,000 years, 1,000 years that saw these things and drew, what they thought it looked like. Look at this one right here. Look at this one right here. The eye is supposed to represent light. Now, I showed you the video, right? A will and a will. Let's go back to it. Look at that. That's what some artists put together. So the elite knows exactly what's going on. They trying to escape. And if this is true, which it is true, according to this scientist, then they're going to say, oh, then these men that call themselves Hebrew Israelites, they got to be the prophets. So let me come on back to the precepts. So now did I read Jeremiah? Jeremiah, let's read it again. Okay, Most High gonna visit thee, right? Amos 9, I quoted it. Amos 9, what does it say? Is this guy? I'm sorry, I'm watching something else. Amos 9, I believe that's 8 verse, 9 verse or so. I can go to it, but it says the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, and I shall destroy it from off the face of the earth. Let me do this. Where is this? Let me do it this way. I know it's somewhere either First or Second Chronicles. Let me try it this way. Okay. Second Chronicles 16 and 9. This is the ESV, but I'm gonna read in the KJV. For the eyes of Yahweh run to and fro throughout the whole earth. His eyes, the angels are his eyes, and we are his mouth. The angels are his eyes, and we are his mouth. Don't meditate on what you're going to say, for it be given to you by the Father what you shall say. To give strong support to those whose heart is blameless toward him. You have done foolishly in this, for from now on you will have wars. For the Lord, the Yahweh's eyes are upon the sinful kingdom. The eyes are the ships. Let me do this. King James. For the eyes of Yahweh run to and fro throughout the whole earth. What does Zechariah 5 and 1 says on down? It shall enter into the house of the thief, right? They're dismayed at the heavens. Be not dismayed at the heavens, for the heathen are dismayed. They're dismayed at these UFO sightings in New Jersey. And now it's other places. They say Egypt and other places. to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. Herein thou hast done foolishly, therefore from henceforth thou shalt have wars. Now, did not David have war? This is not talking about David, obviously. But David had wars because he, see Asa, the prophet. Asa wars against Baasha. Okay, let's come back to the precepts. Lamentation 4:22. We're familiar with Lamentation 4:21, so we will start at the 21st verse. We're almost finished. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, which are the Israelites. So wait a minute. But you don't have Israelites that's going to burn in hell. It said the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. The daughter of Zion represent all Israel. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. But he's going to put some of you in, and burn you in this, which you would, if you had a choice to be engulfed in flame forever and to go back into captivity, which would you choose? You got to stop following these dummies out here. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. They sin because you know what? They took the Bible. The president's swearing on the Bible. Some of them I want to use the Lincoln Bible. You know, some of them I want to use this Bible and that Bible. So when you swear in the Bible, which that's breaking the law, you're making an oath that you're going to follow the laws of the Bible. Then what do? You follow your own laws. That's why it's going to be destroyed from off the face of the earth. And you got people that fall off and you can't get it, you become disenchanted, is because you were not a part of the elect in the first place. I did a video with a guy saying that he used to be an Israelite, and you know, he prayed to the Father, and the Father gave him the spirit to want to kill Edomites, and then he rebuked that spirit. So guess what? He's back in the world and he's a demon. He went back to being the dog, going back to his vomit. 2 Peter, I believe that's 2 Peter 2, verse 20 down to 22, if I'm not mistaken. I know it starts at 20. Okay, so we're in the Apocrypha now. 2 Ezra 6, verse 18. Let's open it up. I got like one more precept and I'm going to close. I went a little long. Try not to go long. Okay, I believe this is it. Give me a second. Oh, no, this is 9 verse 2. So since I'm here, I'm going to go to 9 verse 2. 2 Ezra 9 verse 2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same thing wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we're going to go to 2 Ezra 6 verse 18. 2 Ezra 6 verse 18. I'm not going to read the context. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. The eyes of the Lord power, Yahweh is upon, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. You are the sinful kingdom now. We were the sinful kingdom. We're going to be delivered. But Esau, you the sinful kingdom now. Got one more. Ecclesiasticus 16, verse 18. And when I put these together, I also read the context, which I'm not going to go into for time's sake. You can go back and click context. Okay, it said, behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens, the deep and the earth, and all that therein is, shall be moved when he shall visit. So when the Lord come and visit, it said he's a consuming fire, right? That's in Hebrews. Consuming fire. That's in Hebrews. Paul made the statement. Okay, they get beautiful. Gave me 3 scriptures. So Paul quoted this from Deuteronomy, right? For Yahweh thy power is a consuming fire, even a jealous power. Deuteronomy 9 verse 3. Understanding therefore this day Yahweh thy power is he which goeth over before thee as a consuming fire. He shall destroy them with the enemies, and he shall bring them down before thy face. So shalt thou drive them. You're going to kill them and destroy them quickly, as Yahweh have said unto thee. So what is vocab talking about? Ultimately, he really liked the Gentiles. He really didn't like the Israel. No, why would the Most High bring fire upon them, and the ones that are weak, you to take them out, completely take them out? Hebrews 12 and 29, for our power is a consuming fire. How did Paul know that? Because he read the law. He was trained in the law. He was a master of the law. So was his father. He was raised up by a great teacher of the law by the name of Gamaliel. Okay, let me come back to Ecclesiasticus. Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens, the deep and the earth, and all that therein is, shall be moved when he shall visit. Isaiah 24, what does it say? The earth going to rock back and forth, and not too many words. So before the Most High brings his destruction, he brings the prophets to prophesy against that place. Did not he do that? Did not he raise up Moses and other prophets? There were other men, spiritual men behind Moses. It wasn't just Moses, but he was the head guy. He was the king. The first king of Israel was Moses, for you people out there. The first king of Israel was Moses. Saul was not the first king. He was the first coronated king. The first king of Israel was Moses. Deuteronomy 28:36, it says, ye and your king shall go into captivity, meaning come over here to this country, this side of the earth. It's talking about Moses. But I thought you said it was David. Well, David and Moses, so it's David too, and Peter, and whoever else he came in as. All right? So with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next. Shalom.